I guess it started. All right, let's get this thing covered a little bit. So this is our 1990 21-foot Omega. We've done a little bit of work to it. Front seats, we cut back probably a good 7-8 inches. I'm kind of tall, so I wanted to be able to spread my legs out in here. This was just kind of like a proof of concept. Hopefully someday soon we'll be getting a nice interior for it. Kind of want to redo a lot of this anyways. We bought the boat maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, and it was a total project when we bought it. Floor was completely rotted out, transom completely rotted out. Motor was kind of on its last leg. We've done a little bit of upgrades to it. We have a nice little billet shifter here. You can see right there we have a EFI system hooked onto it. Did a little bit of stuff to the exhaust. I know this hatch is ugly. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll be replacing it. Motor was tired, so we went ahead, pulled that out, built a 383 stroker for it. Did a little bit of exhaust stuff. If you guys want to know more about the conversion to EFI with dual tanks and return systems and all that, we have some work to do on that as well, so we'll get into all that. Pretty much the goal for this first project is going to be the floor. When I did the floor the first time, kind of had no idea what I was doing at all, so I tried reusing some old plywood that had already had a little bit of moisture in it, and the area from the back seat here halfway up through the ski locker there, it's completely rotted out and it's sinking in pretty bad. So my first project's going to be cutting all that out and replacing it. And I kind of have an idea. I have a battery on each side of this thing. I'd really like to put the batteries in a compartment somewhere in this area underneath the floor, just to kind of open up a little bit more space. Something else we've done to it, it came with the OMC Cobra drive on it. It did not like the new 383 stroker motor. We put a hole in the lower unit of that thing, so we have a 1.5-to-1 gear ratio Bravo 1 on here. It's got the little fancy fin on the back of it. Not something that I put on, just found a really good deal on a used drive and decided to run with it. You can't say no to a $1,000 Bravo 1 that was supposedly rebuilt. I really don't know if it was fully rebuilt or not, but I'm just gonna assume that it was, and one day when it does blow up, I feel like I would have got my money's worth out of it, because we've got 3 seasons on it and runs pretty good. The motor I originally put together in this shed right here, and after the first season it was kind of making some lifter noises and things like that. Went ahead, pulled it apart, couldn't really find anything wrong with it. Originally when I put the motor together, it was going to get a blower put on it, just some kind of 871 or something like that, and well, that didn't happen. So we're going to leave it NA for a little while at least. Yeah. So just a little walk around. Probably not the greatest time to be recording. It's pretty dark. I hate this hatch with a passion. It's so ugly. It hurts my feelings that it's on this boat. Hopefully this year we'll be rebuilding a new one. I am not the kind of person that likes to pay other people to do shit that I could probably figure out. So we're just gonna try and do it ourselves. The name of the boat, No Like It, No Look It. You don't like what I'm doing in my fucking boat? Don't look at it. That's your problem, not mine. So yeah, just a little walk around of the boat really quick. There's a lot of things I would like to do to this boat. My wife has informed me that even if we buy another boat, we are not getting rid of this. We just had our first son, and this will be his boat someday. So it's gonna just be staying in the family for a very, very, very long time, hopefully. I just need to figure out how to make it last that long, or at least until I don't need it anymore. Then it's the kids' problem. I don't know, a little bit more about the motor. We did scat rods, scat crank, Wiseco pistons. I believe it's a 9.5 or a 10.5 to 1 compression ratio. We converted it full roller rocker, AFR heads, aluminum heads. We did the AFR dual plane intake manifold. The only reason for this little spacer on here is because of water lines. Being able to get the fuel line up to this guy. Yeah, I could have routed the fuel going all the way around the back, and not had to worry about the spacer, but I really like the location of my water separator, so I'm going to leave that alone. We have our Holley high pressure fuel pressure regulator. For some reason, when I bought it and got sent to me, it was not tapped on the bottom of it. So I was at the lake and in a pinch trying to get the boat going because it was the middle of summer, and right now it's just zip tied in there. Another funky thing that you probably see, let's go to the other side here, is this water pump. Since I went to the OMC, from OMC to Bravo, I had to figure out how to get the raw water running through it, and I did not feel like spending whatever $500 on the Mercruiser raw water pump. So found this one off of, I think they're from Malibu, something like that. The raw water pumps, they just bolt to the actual crankshaft there in front of the pulley. It works great as long as it's sealed properly. I was having issues the first 2 years with it not wanting to fully create water pressure, so I have this little gauge right on the front of the motor, so at least at a quick glance I can see if it's got water pressure or not. What else? For some reason I had decided to bring my anchor and slide anchor home with me. Maybe I thought I'd be using that if I was building new seats. That would be really cool to do. If not, wait till next year to do that. I'm sure if you have a boat, you know that they're kind of expensive, and having kids are expensive, so I don't get to do everything I want to do every year. But oh, something else we need to do is this trailer. I'm not happy with it. It doesn't have brakes. I would like to convert it to electric brake everything. Electric over hydraulic would be amazing to do, but that is a pretty expensive task, I think I might just do electric drum brakes, and I would really like to extend out this tongue or do a fold-away tongue. When it's hooked up to the truck, I can't actually open my tailgate all the way because it sits right on this knob, and there's some grooves in my tailgate that I'm not extremely happy with. And because of the Bravo 1 being so much longer, I guess, because of this fin on the back of it, I had to raise the boat up. I think I raised it about 5 inches. I have it on these kind of adapters to raise it up on the trailer a little bit, just so I can go over speed bumps and in driveways without ripping the back of this thing off. So I would like to cut all of the old factory stuff off. Someone's done some kind of shoddy work. They've welded in kind of some channel on the back of this thing, so I like the look of flush mount lights on the back, so I might be cutting all that off and welding on some new brackets and maybe become a little happier with it. I am not missing this. I have it. All of the holes on the deck of this thing are so wallowed out that it's kind of difficult to bolt things to it. There's some old mounting holes for the bimini. If this was the right bimini for the boat, I would not have mind leaving all the stuff down here, but the bimini that they put on this thing is, well, the width of the top of the deck up there, and every time I'd release the bimini top, I would get these gouges because of how much tension was on it. So something to do this year, we're going to fill all these holes in, kind of make it look a little bit nicer. I did these quick release on the bimini. They make it really nice. This is the location for when we're in the water and the bimini's up. This is the location that I use for it. Kind of when we're towing, it sits perfectly on the back of the boat. Something else I would like to do before the summer is build a drive shower, and I also have a drain pan underneath the drive because these rams are leaking, so they either need to be rebuilt or replaced. And I have a really funny feeling that I put them on backwards. I know there's a certain direction that they're supposed to go on, and I was kind of in a rush when I put this thing together. Gauges, I was kind of really scared when I blew the motor up the first time. I put a hole in a piston. I ran it really lean, so I threw this AEM wideband gauge in here in place of my trim gauge. So I don't have a trim gauge. I'm kind of just guessing where the trim is at all times, and that kind of sucks. So now that we have our Terminator system on here, I can see all my AFRs through that digital screen, which I have mixed feelings about on a boat that of this age. Kind of, it feels wrong having that on there. But for right now, until I'm extremely comfortable with how the boat is running and I know that it's not going to blow itself apart, the screen is going to stay. So probably be getting rid of the AEM gauge here. I still have it hooked up. I have blocks back here, probably really hard to see, but on each manifold I have an O2 sensor in there. I would really like to put in some nice gauges in this thing to kind of match the era / bring it back kind of modern, like a resto mod. We'll just call it a resto mod. That's my goal, is to do some sort of a resto mod with this thing. Something that still looks classic but has all the nice, you know, amenities that we all want in a boat. Make it a little easier to get through the day. So yeah, I'll probably just showing you the boat right now in the dark. Planning on actually cleaning up the shed right now, so that tomorrow morning when I get up, I can go ahead and start cutting into the floor and getting the seats out and everything. I love this light. It is a badass light to have. There's supposed to be a beauty ring that goes around it, but it wasn't designed for boats with contours, so First trip on the way out to Havasu is usually where we go. Got to the lake and the bezel was gone. So I don't know if they sell bezels or how that works, or if we can 3D print one or something, but that's something that needs to get fixed. So another part of the project, I like to call myself a little bit of a welder and fabricator. And I've always liked the look of CMI headers. A little bit of glass here hanging out. I've always really liked the look of the CMI headers. I just can't afford to spend $8,000 on a set of headers, so I kind of just started figuring out how to make my own here. These were kind of just, I wouldn't say completely free-handed. I used some exhaust Legos to kind of figure out equal length and routing and everything. But we can look on the inside of here. There's a plate, there's a water bung, so everything is fully double walled from here all the way to here. Water collects in this chamber, comes out here to a, I want to say a 10 AN line, and will meet the rest of the exhaust system going out the back of the boat, which I have the first side kind of mocked up here. Hasn't really been finished, so that kind of just clamps on there, something like that, and goes directly out the back of the boat. This is also double walled, just to try and prevent as much reversion as possible. I don't want any water getting in to our motor. These are like the little Legos I was talking about. You'll probably see them later on when I build the other side of the header, the other header for the other side of the motor. I did a thing here and I'm not happy with it at all. 16 AN bung coming into the header, which now I know is just, it's an unnecessary amount of water. So, and then the only 90s that I could get as quickly as I could, because I was just very impatient. This is like 030 wall. It's extremely thin, and just the weight of the 16 AN line coming in actually cracked it. I'll see if I have a video of that when I was test running the motor with these on. Something I learned is you do not put muriatic acid on headers, even if they are all 3/16 stainless. It will start to rust a little bit in some spots. These were fully polished before I put them together, and then they've kind of just been sitting around the shed collecting dust and getting drug around, so they'll need to be repolished when I'm done, whether I polish them or send them out to someone else. So yeah, this is my messy ass shed. The next part of the video here is just going to be me kind of tidying up and getting ready for tomorrow. So we'll probably just throw a little time lapse on here and see how far I can get. It's getting kind of dark. It got dark really fast. So yeah, let's see what happens.